As of late, we've seen a lot of preppers fall into one of the most successful psychological operations in recent history, the QAnon phenomenon. For those of you that still believe that QAnon is the real deal, here is a short video of the infamous Cliff High explaining how the 50,000 seal indictment BS is nothing more and nothing less than just BS.
The 51,000 sealed indictments. I hate that meme. And, the David Wilcock and Jordan Sather and all of these people, they are so facile, so, right on the surface. That site they reference is Pacer. And it's public access to court records. And it allows you to buy at 10 cents a copy sheets of information. And allows you to query their stuff basically any way you want. And so what someone has done is they've queried the number of records hitting the federal, district, appellate, and bankruptcy court ledgers, and they've done that iteratively without dropping off any of those that become unsealed. Okay, and so it's a cumulative total. It is a little weird. The actual number of sealed court records at a federal level is ever so slightly higher, but the sealed court cases that Pacer shows are not indictments. All right, the vast majority of the sealed cases are in bankruptcy court. So if I go to bankruptcy court, my lawyer automatically puts in a request that the record be sealed, so that my neighbors don't heckle me as I'm driving down the street. Right, that kind of thing. Or if I'm a business, if I'm a big corporation, maybe I don't want other corporations that are in the same line of work to know that I'm experiencing certain levels of difficulty. And so they seal the court records before it goes through trial, and sometimes a judge can seal them afterwards. But in any event, the Pacer that these guys cite, Jordan Sather, David Wilcock, and all these other people, the Pacer database that they cite is specifically for appellate court, district court, and bankruptcy court. And if you, obviously, let's think about it, we can eliminate appellate court, because if these were sealed indictments, then it's not pertinent, anything coming out of the appellate court, because these people have yet to be tried and thus could not have, and convicted and thus couldn't have an appeal. So we can eliminate the appellate court side, and obviously the sealed caseload from the bankruptcy side is meaningless. And so if you take those out of the numbers, we're just ever so slightly higher than our usual average. And the usual average that they cite, they say, the record was 1,019 or something like that in 2009. All right, so what they're citing is the active sealed cases on a monthly basis throughout that entire year. And we're only slightly above that. So there's no 51,000 sealed indictments against large numbers of the deep state players that are going to show up and cause us issues here in the future. There may indeed be some small number of sealed indictments, but you're not going to see them in the Pacer documents this way, because you won't be able to tell them from the bankruptcy cases and the appellate cases as they're being reported by Jordan Sather and David Wilcock at all. They're just citing these large, broad numbers of 51,000 and letting it go at that, and assuming that they're all, just because they're sealed, that they're indictments. And it couldn't be further from the truth. There's another aspect of this, too, that everyone has to take into account here. A sealed indictment is a grand jury issue. You can get away in some areas, in some jurisdictions, with grand juries as small as 6 individuals, and then the staff of the court. Even if we assumed that that was the case, then you've got to end, in order to support the 51,000 number, you would have to assume at a bare minimum, most places it's going to require 12 people, but just assume at a bare minimum everybody got away with a 6-person impanelment on a grand jury in order to create a sealed indictment and get some individual in the deep state. You're going to have to start doing some math here. 51,000 times 6, that's how many jurors are going to be involved. You can also get involved in terms of the number of hours involved there for those jurors, because each indictment has an average of 18 hours, or a minimum threshold of about 18 hours of actual process time that it takes to create one of these things. So 51,000 times 18. But that's not the real issue. The real issue is the number of courts that would have to be involved, the number of judges that would have to be involved in the 51,000 number, and then the number of attorneys. It would be so large that you'd be looking at, on the order just on the courts and the number of people that knew, you'd be looking at 600,000 plus people nationwide. And 600,000 plus people nationwide don't keep their mouths shut about this kind of stuff. And then it would be rippling out through all of the attorneys. So you would hear about it in your locality if you had any kind of a contact with an attorney, because they'd just be itching to tell you this secret news that they learned from their local county clerk or whoever they learned this kind of thing from. Because there would be all kinds of work for attorneys, and we're just not seeing it.
As you can see, it is important that we take the time and debunk and see through what things really are. In this case, I hope this video helps you understand that seal indictments and the QAnon phenomenon is nothing else and nothing more than a psychological operation designed to keep you trusting the plan. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe.